Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips, get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today.
In a world where dreams meet reality, there exists a place where your business can flourish. That place is Shopify. Imagine having the power to craft your online store with tools that make it as easy as a gentle breeze. Whether you're an artisan of handmade wonders, a creator of digital treasures, or a curator of the latest trends, Shopify stands by your side. With its customizable templates, seamless integrations, and support that's always there, your dream store is just a heartbeat away. Join millions of visionaries around the globe and let Shopify guide you on your journey. Visit roguemedianetwork.com/Shopify. That's roguemedianetwork.com/SHOPIFY. And embark on your free trial. Shopify, where your commerce dreams come to life.
I am Rachel Ruth Tate, and this is Text Astrology. A very warm welcome to everybody tuning in to today's show. This is Rachel Ruth, Texas's own homegrown Hellenistic astrologer, coming to you from Rogue Media Network in downtown Waco. Please get yourselves excited for another lunation and another iteration of the Text Astrology podcast, especially because in this episode we are breaking down the full moon in Leo, happening on Sunday, February 5th at 12:29 p.m. Central Standard Time at 16 degrees of Leo. Leo being our fixed fire sign, the fifth in the zodiac, and the only one ruled by the sun, represented by the noble lion. And for Leo, enthusiasm is a love language, and self-love is self-care. Not that the moon being our earthly mirror for the sun, and thus symbolizing our personal felt sense vessel / bodily container for energy and reflection, the moon. So not that the moon has any special power in Leo, the sun sign, because it doesn't. But the full moon in Leo does require our attention. Actually, though, the moon in Leo loves itself some attention. So please attend to yourself and your feels during this energetic and cyclic apex, and prepare to hang on to your hats. Remember, Leo rules the heart. Yes, each sign has got a body part, so Leo is the heart, and we are going to feel this one at the center of the chest. This full moon is going to be a doozy. Oh, Rachel, what do you mean by a doozy? I felt you thinking it. Let's put it this way. This full moon, which is, of course, a dynamic opposition of the sun and moon facing each other down, which is already a heightened monthly energy, right? So this particular full moon has a few pain points, one of which being that in Leo, the moon is ruled by the sun, which is opposite to it in Aquarius, which is the sun's sign of detriment or difficulty. So to summarize, this full moon's ruler is in detriment. It's having a hard time. It's tough to express yourself in the community. So that's all true. And what is more than just the sun in a less than ideal position or sign, what is more, the closest aspect that the full moon at 16 degrees of Leo makes to any planet is to Uranus, the outer planet bearing forth shock and change, which is hanging out almost perfectly square to both the sun and the moon at 15 degrees Taurus, where Uranus is. That's some crazy bananas breaking point shit, y'all, that hard square. Because Uranus is a disruptive force. Always, always, always. It is change making 100% of the time. It has been in Taurus for the last 3.5-ish, 4-ish years. So think about all that's changed during that time. Yeah, you hear me. March of 2019 is when Uranus fully ingressed into Taurus. And we have a years-long pandemic named after that called COVID-19. Uranus is huge, huge stuff, shaking and breaking. So that dynamic firecracker of a planet Uranus in that fundamental goods Taurus flavor of safety and security is going to have the most to say about this Leo full moon, besides the weekend sun. So please expect some disruption to your regularly scheduled programming this full moon. Shit is going to shift and shock and just generally be weirdly different all of a sudden. It may be your own doing, actually. You may find yourself pushing the button and exploding stuff in your own life that you maybe never thought you would. You may feel like you have to, though, to survive. Because this full moon is in Leo. Leo ruled by the sun, the self, the energy of the self, the solar. And the sun is in Aquarius, the communal sign that's ruled by Saturn. So we are feeling our social pressures and the weight of the uncertain future upon us. Bam, that's it. Heavy, heavy uncertainty. Atlas and the whole earth, that's us. And so back to this lunation square to Uranus, which is in Taurus, right? Ruled by Venus, who is at 12 degrees of Pisces. And that makes her quincunx, or in conjunct, or to sum up, that brings her to a super, super fucking awkward 144-degree angular relationship with the moon at 16 degrees of Leo. The personally benefic, the Venusian stuff that's going well in your life, it seems not to fit into what's involved in this lunation. As in, you'll feel weird about what you want for yourself this full moon. That's really what it is. But what you do want feels really good to want. And it is. And those can both be true. Venus is exalted in Pisces. If you surrender to your soul, you know what it says. Somehow. It might be hard to hear, or too noisy to hear, or it might feel like a really bad time to want what you want. Just generally inconvenient, all of this higher order wanting at this time. And to make things more vague, this full moon in Leo, and trust, mutable water Pisces stuff can get vague as all get out, especially with Neptune co-present still. So to add more moving parts, let's just jump down the rulership rabbit hole here and get to the bottom of things. So the most important aspect the moon makes is to Uranus and Taurus, right? Who is ruled, right? Taurus is ruled by Venus and Pisces, who is ruled by Jupiter and Aries, who is ruled by Mars and Gemini, who is ruled by Mercury and Capricorn, who is ultimately ruled by, you guessed it, Saturn, who is still at home in Aquarius. Saturn has been at home in its dark castles, Aquarius and Capricorn, since 2017, actually. So it all comes back to Saturn again. And alas, at the root of our disruptions and our desires are our restrictions and issues ultimately. So there is some mightily Saturnian shit the full moon in Leo is serving up. Self-reflection on those longer-term issues, probably relational, social, legal, economical, Aquarius, Sun, Saturn stuff, pressing on the dipole Leo moon. And that just isn't and hasn't been going away, that tension. And it's not going to go away immediately. But you really, really, really want it to. It would be great. Thanks. And listen, folks, Saturn changes signs soon, real soon. And we get 3-ish years of a different flavor of Saturn. It leaves Aquarius for Pisces in March. Yes, that's some Jupiter stuff. But the same month, Pluto begins its own 2020-year transit through Aquarius, moving into the sign from Capricorn, where Pluto has been, since 2008. You know, the year the social system, financial, boss bank, Capricorn stuff hit the fan, right? So you see what Pluto can do. And this moon is a mirror for each of us individually, a Leonine internal opportunity to appraise the present and future Aquarian situation vis-a-vis what it means for you. Because Leo reminds us that we are each important. If anyone deserves good things, you do, I do, as much as others do, pretty much exactly as much, and only as much. We all deserve good things. That's an Aquarian reminder. So on that note, let me quote my dear husband in a closing full moon in Leo, sort of saying, we have to live in hope. And I'm living in hope that we can and will do these hard things that Saturn is asking of us and from us, being that's the way it is. Let me share some hopeful I am affirmation horoscopes for this full moon in Leo lunation for each sign individually. So I request that these horoscopes be read using rising signs, as the ascendant speaks to the first house of self, the literal you, but your sun or moon sign can shed some light too, pun intended. Now, this cycle for all 12 signs. Aries, I am a creative force of nature. Taurus, I am better for the positive change I make. Gemini, I am a world changer with words. Cancer, I am able to give what I can receive. Leo, I am worthy of the attention I get. Virgo, I am resilient enough to inspire resilience. Libra, I am a value add to all teams I join. Scorpio, I am a leader in all parts of my life. Sagittarius, I am a lifelong student and teacher. Capricorn, I am always investing in myself and others. Aquarius, I am complete both alone and in partnership. Pisces, I am sure every step of the way counts. So let those horoscopes simmer on the back burners of your mind as we take a short break for a few words from our sponsors.
Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips, get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today.
And we are back with more Texas Astrology, folks. This part of the program is devoted to my top 3 planetary transits to pay attention to over the next 2 weeks. So let's begin logically with the first. Mercury enters Aquarius on Saturday, February 11th at 5:19 a.m. Central Standard Time, where it will be until it exits the sign on March 2nd, about 3 weeks later. Guys, It is just good to have Mercury out of the sign of its last retrograde, so its exit from Capricorn and its entrance into Aquarius is welcome as new and fresh Mercury mental and commercial territory. And Mercury is picking up speed, so our minds are sharper and quicker, and the conversations are progressing faster, if you will. Cycles of mercurial things are speeding up as the planet does. And Mercury, that swift messenger god of the thought, the spoken, the exchanged, Mercury has triplicity rulership, or some extra power in and over air signs, of which Aquarius is one, the fixed one. So we are going to have a higher quality of mental attention at this time than some others. And one that is a bit sober, sober-minded still, because Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. Saturn's young sign of social order and the rules of engagement. Aquarius covers our contracts and covenants, if you will. So Mercury is not only in a Saturnian sign, but it is also there co-present with the ruler Saturn itself, which lends some ability, but not necessarily enjoyability. Does that make sense? Like the mind and tongue are working well, they're just working and not playing whatsoever. Because necessity is the name of the game here as Mercury transits Aquarius with some strength and squares innovative and disruptive Uranus over in Taurus. Hopefully this Saturnian necessity proves the mother of Uranian mental invention. This square is a 90-degree dynamic angle, best resolved in breakthrough and release. There is for sure a let's get down to business and make what hasn't been workable work. But actually, though, because we have to, vibe. And this can be worked, though it may take patience, as is evidenced by a supportive 120-degree trine relationship from Mercury to Mars, our planet of action and doing and going, over in Gemini, Mercury's sign, slowly picking up speed after Mars's recent direct station as well. Mental stamina is the vibe I have here. We are going to need that, and so we're going to have it. Trines are transfers of energy, and they can't be avoided. Necessity again. We have eyes on the prize, and that means motive and opportunity here. Mercury and Aquarius can get it done. And remember, this is the last time that Mercury will transit Aquarius for the next 3 decades, with Saturn present. So get your Saturn business done. And this second transit is going to just continue this story that Mercury is the mouth and messenger for here and flesh out more of the same energetic signature and Saturnian pattern that the astrology is serving up as well. So, second transit. The Sun conjoins Saturn on Thursday, February 16th, at 10:48 a.m. Central Standard Time at 27 degrees of Aquarius, which is the last time the Sun and Saturn, Aquarius's ruler, will align in the sign for the next few decades as well. So here is the spotlight on Saturn, the Sun warming up the cold, icy rings of the last visible planet, visible only because of the Sun's light. Thank you very much. The last visible planet finds itself in the heart of the Sun, in its own sign. The outer reaches of what we can see is illuminated in this conjunction. And I'm going to take an unexpected tack here and tell you that I really like this Saturn conjoin the Sun transit for us all. I do. The heart of the Sun is a good place to be for any planet. And it does involve some amount of trial by fire energy. But the heart of the Sun, or the Cazimi moment of the Sun and a planetary conjunction, is both preceded and followed by combustion, which makes stuff kind of blinding. In this case, it makes our long-term problems and legal or contractual issues seem overwhelming. Prior to this conjunction, and maybe post, just think burnt out with putting our energy into Saturn stuff. But for this one moment, happening at 27 degrees Aquarius, putting it in Saturn's own bound or Egyptian term, so a small power up, as well as being in its own sign when it meets the sun. So I'm going to translate that astrology jazz. This area of life has been through the Saturn ringer literally, and it's time to spotlight your progress, to witness the present that was the future in the past, and to imagine more progress given the right circumstance and quality of attention. Saturn in Aquarius speaks to our societal and familial agreements, the invisible ties that bind us into an organized communal world, and the contracts and laws that codify those invisible accords we all live by. And it is possible to improve upon those, and we do. Aquarius as a sign has an implied sense of future, a sort of systematic visionary that weaves together all of the thought threads of the modern cultural progress with the time-honored and tested traditions and the covenants of the past. Saturn actually exalts in Libra, remember, and the Sun exalts in Aries. So the two bodies involved in this conjunction exalt, or they do their best work in, along a mutual axis. Aries and Libra are a cardinal axis, the fire and the air cardinal axis, the first and the seventh signs in the zodiac. So it's me and all that isn't me, attention to the self and attention for others, selfishness and selflessness. These are a requisite spectrum. This is a dipole. These are perfect end caps. And when the opposing can join, well, you actually get a new moon type of vibe. The moon in the heart of the sun every month is a good example of that cazimi. It's a rebirth or a reset or a renewal energy. And so it is with Saturn. We are being reborn into what we have learned over these last 3 years of Saturn home in Aquarius, and truly integrating the 3 years preceding of Saturn transiting through Capricorn, which it also rules. So there has been a strong Saturnian burdensome signature in the sky for all of society. And this cazimi of the Sun and Saturn is putting a sort of punctuation mark on those learnings over the last 6 years. It may be a period, an exclamation point, or a semicolon, but it's more likely a comma. Remember, Pluto is on its way, and with it, more underworld Aquarian Saturnian journeys and lessons to learn from Father Time, scythe-bearing Cronus, Saturn, the ringed planet itself. Third transit. The Sun enters Pisces on Saturday, February 18th at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, where it will remain for its typical annual transit until it exits the sign on March 20th, which marks the vernal equinox and the start of spring. By Jove, literally, as Jove or Jupiter rules mutable water Pisces, the last sign in the zodiac, and the last of the signs the Sun must transit through before our life-affirming star has its annual equinoctial zodiacal rebirth into its exaltation, the first sign of Aries. There is an energy to being almost done that the Sun can have here in Pisces. It has no power at all, no rulership, but also no detriment or difficulty or issue at all. It kind of reminds me of the feeling of coasting after exams, the Sun in Pisces. That cool feeling of the hard part, right? The Sun's yearly transit through malefic Saturn's back-to-back home signs of Capricorn and Aquarius, the dead of proverbial winter, that feeling of it being almost done. So close you can taste the freedom the spring will bring. You may notice that sort of chilling, freewheeling vibe about Sun and Pisces natives. They are down for a lot, and they enjoy the expanse of the felt and sensed experiences that they can put their solar life force into. Pisces has a huge emotional, spiritual, and physical range. Pisces is symbolized by the dual fish. So imagine the life force of a school of synced-up swimmers just gliding along in formation. Individual volition is less the aim, more collective consciousness and group harmony. Does the individual fish choose where to swim? Or does it ride the vibe and lean into the connection with all that is to guide it? That is Pisces right there. The trust, the feeling, sensation, intuition. And there is literally about to be a new moon here in Pisces, just 2 days after the sun's ingress. So you'll be in for the inner scoop on the Pisces parts of your life real quick. The sun and the moon link up later at just 1 degree of Pisces. So the story should be quickly apparent, even if it's sort of a nascent inner knowing as to what's growing in this sector of stuff for you. Because we have had Venus, exaltation, Lord Goddess of Pisces, in the sign for about 3 weeks, Miss Benefic. And she is still in play for this ingress. And she even squeaks into the upcoming new moon chart that I will talk more about next time, which I love for us. But anyway, we have had Venus, personal benefic bringer of beauty and love, showering us with her Piscean beneficence. And now the sun and the moon, both sect lights, are here to turn our attention that way. Which bodes well, y'all. It does. We have been all Saturn and no Jupiter, and that makes us dull kids. We need to balance the burden with the bounty, so look forward to an upswing on the next new moon in Pisces forecast. Benefics do usually pull better with humans than malefics. It's just facts, folks. Venus and Saturn, well, one feels better than the other. We like the carrot better than the stick. And speaking of, let the first 2 days of the sun in Pisces be your carrots. With Venus, the sun, and the moon in Pisces all at the same time, we have ourselves, on one end, potentially, the sexiest, most elegant, and magical, fabulous party with the finest art and libations. And, on the other potential side of Piscean things, the best, most healing, tear-filled prayer session, meditation, soul-cleansing, self-actualizing privacy one could wish for. Both very Pisces. Likely, our days are to be somewhere in between during Pisces season, but mark off Saturday 2/18 or Sunday 2/19 as nights to remember. And to my memory, y'all like it when I summarize simply the upcoming quality of time to make all this star stuff super sensical. The 2 weeks following this full moon in Leo lunation will feel surprising, engrossing, necessary, involved, and significant, which brings us into our do's and don'ts for this full moon in Leo syzygy. Do find healthy and life-affirming ways to encourage and enjoy yourself daily, because high spirits and good energy are both contagious and useful. Don't use pleasures or emotional escapism to distract yourself from real life, as there is a lot of meaningful shit to do and create around here. Do take responsibility for things and respond accordingly, thinking about the benefit of all beings and balancing needs. Don't take responsibility for what you can't respond to or what isn't yours to respond to, as oftentimes we imagine ourselves the problem so we can fix it. Do observe and reflect upon the ways that you relate to others and the norms that you've established in relationships, and change patterns if they'd improve quality of life. Don't enable or continue to exist in relationships you know to be codependent, or run away into some feigned total independence, as neither extreme is real or ideal. One announcement from my Leo rising self before we get to the end here. I am now officially offering natal chart or other chart readings to private clients. You can visit my website, www.texastrology.com, to book yours or one for a friend. I promise having your chart done would add even more meaning to these podcasts for you. So now that wraps up this installment of the show. I hope I get to read for you guys. Remember, where your attention goes, your energy flows during this full moon in Leo syzygy. And as always, please like, follow, subscribe to, rate, save, review, and share this podcast on Apple or Spotify or Instagram or all of it. It helps me so very much. That's it for this episode, folks. Meet me here every full and new moon for more cosmic wisdom. For now, you can find me on Instagram at Rachel Ruth Tate and at Tex Astrology, or between the pages of my book, Meditations on Being, available on Amazon and wherever else you purchase books.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips. Get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today.
In a world where dreams meet reality, there exists a place where your business can flourish. That place is Shopify. Imagine having the power to craft your online store with tools that make it as easy as a gentle breeze. Whether you're an artisan of handmade wonders, a creator of digital treasures, or a curator of the latest trends, Shopify stands by your side. With its customizable templates, seamless integrations, and support that's always there, your dream store is just a heartbeat away. Join millions of visionaries around the globe and let Shopify guide you on your journey. Visit roguemedianetwork.com/Shopify. That's roguemedianetwork.com/SHOPIFY. And embark on your free trial. Shopify, where your commerce dreams come to life.